Hi everybody, Joe here from SHUTTERSPEAK Photography. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about adding motion to an image. Now I'm not talking about the illusion of motion, I'm talking about actual moving objects in a still image within Photoshop. No plugins to buy, no extra programs needed, not a cinemagraph or anything like that. This is just using the tools that are built into Photoshop, something that you can do for free, and it's a lot of fun, and it's going to take your images up to the next level. Okay, so hopefully you find this video helpful, and if you do, please help me out and hit the subscribe button. I'm still on the mend, seeing the doctor in a couple of days, and hopefully this will come off and I'll be back to two-handed Photoshop real soon. So, all right, thanks for watching, and let's get started. Okay, everybody, so here we are inside Photoshop, and we have our model seated up against a white wall. And what we want to do is we want to take this white wall and have some fun with it by placing a fun texture, and we're going to make that texture animated behind our model on the white wall. So let's give it a shot. All right, so with the background layer selected, press Ctrl J, and we're going to duplicate that layer. And now we're going to take our quick selection tool right here. Let's select the floor, and we'll select our model. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's looking pretty good. Just need to get rid of a little extra right there. Hit the Alt key to deselect, and let's get that little section back right there. And that looks like a pretty good selection right there. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now we just need to hit the mask button to create a layer mask. And now what we want to do is we're going to invert this mask. Okay, by pressing Ctrl and I, that inverts the mask. And now what we've done is we've selected the brick wall. Okay, and we've masked out the floor and our model. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take that mask and we're going to apply that texture onto the wall. We need to come up here to Edit, Preferences. Let's go over to the General tab, and then uncheck Resize Image During Place, and then hit OK. Okay, then we're going to come back to our Texture tab, drop that texture in there, and double-click that. And now on the name of this layer, we're going to right-click. Okay, not on the picture, on the name, and select Create Clipping Mask, and that clips the texture to the selected area of the wall. So from here, I'm going to take this selected layer of the hearts, and I'm going to change this blend mode to multiply. Darken also works, but multiply seems to work better. So we're going to take multiply and maybe bring the opacity down, maybe, that looks good, 90%. So we can see the bricks through the hearts, and we can see the texture, and that looks really nice. So now is where the fun begins. So now let's go up here to Window, and let's select Timeline. Okay, and I want to just scale my image back so we can see it. Let's hit the magnifying glass and then Fit Screen so we can see our entire image. Okay, and now we just need to come down here to Create Video Timeline. And once we hit this button, Photoshop is going to create a timeline of our layers for us, and this is a 5-second long timeline. Okay, very similar to what you might see in Premiere or any other video editing program. But if you're not familiar with doing video editing, this is kind of this type of timeline setup is pretty much a standard for most video editing programs. So now I need you to just come over here and open up the hearts layer, and we're going to click on this little clock looking icon next to transform. Click on that, and what I want you to do is drag this all the way down to the very end, and then re-click so it turns yellow. Okay, oops, there we go. So we should have a kind of a black and white diamond on one side and a yellow diamond on the other. And let's bring this timer back to the very beginning. Now we're going to go up to Edit, and we're going to go up to Free Transform, And we're going to come up here to the X coordinates, and we're going to put in negative, well, let's go with 1000. Okay, and then for the Y coordinates, we're going to go with 1000. And then just hit this checkbox right here. Okay, and I know the size of this image, and I know this image is 2000 by 2000 square, so I know that I can safely select negative 1000 and 1000 because it's smaller than the dimensions of this image with the hearts that we've added to this the background. So if you were adding in, say for example, an image that was only 500 pixels, maybe a safer choice would be negative 500 to 500. But again, this is 2000 by 2000, so I'm selecting negative 1000 to 1000, well within the boundaries of that image. Now we're just going to go over here to this little gear, and we're going to, if loop playback is not checked, check that off. And your resolution may be set to 50. You can leave it at 50. It'll work a little bit faster for you. I'm going to actually drop mine back down to 50 just for the sake of this video, so things render out a little more quickly. Now all you need to do is press play. And right now what's happening is it's building the animation, and you see this blue line here that's filling up. That's the animation being rendered, and once it gets to the end, you'll see now things will start to run much smoother. And now we have a beautiful animated background running behind our model. So now maybe we want to make this a little bit longer, so what we could do is just hit stop. And then we come down here to this little slider that has a mountain range and a smaller mountain range on the other. And this is the size of our slider. Oops. So by lowering this, we can make our slider, our timeline bigger. So now I can take this hearts layer, and you can see it runs from 0 seconds to 5 seconds. I'm going to make it 10 seconds. So let's just drag this out. 8, 9, 10 seconds right there. Now we also need to drag out layer 1, because layer 1 is our mask. And what happens is, if while the animation is playing, if we pass this point of the layer, there's no more mask and the hearts are going to disappear. And you can see by me just dragging this across, you see there's now no more hearts because we don't have a mask anymore. So we just need to select this layer, and again, drag this out right to there, so they're the same length. Back to our hearts layer, and let's hit play. And now it's going to build out the rest of that animation. Oh, and one last thing, let me stop that. We need to move our endpoint all the way down to the end of our video. Okay, there we go. And now it's rebuilding a 10-second animation for us, and you can see that blue line building up in the sections that have been rendered. And once those blue lines meet, you're going to see things speed back up again. And we're almost there. And if you're enjoying this video and you find it helpful, please help me out by hitting the subscribe button. You should see a subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of this video. You can just click on that and hit subscribe. So if this helps you out, do me that favor and help me out. So there we go. All right, so we have a fully built animation now, and you can see how smoothly everything is moving in the background. Okay, and that looks really nice. Now we could make this a little bit longer if we wanted to. Okay, so if we are happy with this video as it is, what we just need to do now is just go up to File, go over to Export, and then go down to Render Video. Select Render Video, and all of these selections look pretty good. We can leave it pretty much like this. You can choose the quality that you'd like. Let's say you wanted a YouTube 1080p video, 24 frames per second, which is a great cinematic video. You could leave it at high quality. You can leave the document size as is. I wouldn't recommend changing that unless you make sure you keep the aspect ratio correct. Maybe you want a little more cinematic look, so you might want to change that to say 24 frames per second. And then all you need to do is click Render. and Photoshop will render this video file for you, and then you can take this video file and you could post it to Instagram, or you could post it to Facebook, and you will have a nice looping video that will almost look like it'll look like a picture to most people. They're not going to even realize that it's a video. It's just going to have motion in the background. It's just going to play automatically, and it's going to look like a still image that just has motion in it. One of the nice things about this is that it's just something a little bit different that most people aren't going to have in their toolbox, and now you do. Okay, so as this video exports, I'd just like to take the time out to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, maybe you could help me out by hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, and also ring the bell so you get updated of future videos when they get posted. And I'd like to say thank you to all the new subscribers out there who are now following this channel, and probably the person I should be thanking most of all is my fiance Gina Feda, who has been my left hand through all of this day in and day out. So thank you to you, Gina, for being there for me. And that's it. So hope you found this enjoyable, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.